Welcome to another motherfucking fresh and funky Plays and Parlays sports take. Let's turn off the lights here and let's get to fucking business. Tonight we got Thursday night football. We have the Washington Commanders coming in to take on the Chicago Bears. Obviously, it's not everybody's favorite Thursday night football game, but guaranteed tonight we're gonna see some good football. Guaranteed. You have Carson Wentz. The struggling 1-4 Commanders are playing the 2-3 Chicago Bears, trying to get it figured out. Is Justin Fields the man for this offense? I mean, do they have enough weapons to help out Justin Fields? And it is, you know, is Roquan Smith, now he said he was out, is he bought into this defense, and hopefully maybe they can build upon the defense, losing Khalil Mack and trying to get to that stellar stout Bears defense of, a few years ago. But nonetheless, to say, we'll break that down even more. Just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek of what's going down. We also have we have the American League Divisional Series between the Astros and the Mariners. Game one was phenomenal. The Mariners put up 6 runs on Justin Verlander, but the Astros had the last bat. And guess who came up to it was Yardon, taking the ball Yardon all year long. He's been that way. He's been clutch. I mean, many people could say they're cheaters, but Yardon Alvarez is definitely not. He was not part of that team, so you cannot say that he's a cheater. And I mean, he smacked that fucker out the park and helped his team get the victory in Game One. After the team didn't play so well in the first first 5-6 innings here, but battled back and got a win in the end here. So they'll be tipping off here. We obviously got two good pitchers on the mound today. We got Framble Valdez versus Luis Castillo, two quality pitchers that will give you quality starts and could shut you down if you're not too careful and you get caught slipping. But these pitchers also, if they're not careful, they can hang one out, leave one out, and then guess what? One hit turns into a snowball effect, or even a walk sets a guy, and then you set a guy that can steal a base. He steals a base, and you have no out. So hey, however, the situational baseball, that's how it's played nowadays. You got to understand the situation that you're in here. If you got to get runs, you got to do all you can. Whether you got to get runners on, got to get guys moving that could steal bases. Hopefully maybe get a throwing error, maybe get another free base because of that, and hopefully pitchers are getting battered up today. But like I said, we'll dive into that here. We obviously got college football tonight. We have 3 games tonight. We'll talk about those. We have obviously the NHL season has been underway here. Obviously, had some fantastic games, to say the least so far. And today will be day 3 of the season for the NHL season. And obviously, we got NBA preseason, the last 2 games. We have 2 games here tonight, and then we have the last games as tomorrow. A lot of the teams will be playing tomorrow. And there'll be a weekend break because the NBA season starts Tuesday. Obviously, only 4 teams will be tipping off Tuesday. The rest will start, Wednesday, Thursday, so on and so forth. So the NBA season will be tipping off here less than a week. So exciting news for sports. And those of us that love sports, we love this time of year because this is where we have a lot of sports. You got baseball, postseason baseball. You got NFL season started. You got college football season started. You got NHL season started. You got, obviously the NBA is going to be starting here, and we'll have college basketball will be underway as well here. Obviously, there's golf here in between. We have NASCAR is going to be in Las Vegas, and we obviously have MMA, we have boxing, and we have soccer. Obviously, we have the English Premier Leagues. We have all the La Liga. All those leagues are starting back up again as well. So it's a fantastic time for sports, and maybe I don't go too much into La Liga and all these other type of, because like I said, I'm a very novice to football. I know some people come on here and they're probably not Americans and whoever, and I don't care if you want to make your stupid comments. That's what it be. It'd be a stupid comment. You're not going to stop me from doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to be what I'm going to be and continue to say what I say. And just because you come in here and try to cause a distraction and want me to take my time to have to, give you a little bit of attention because I guess the world and everybody and everyone else hasn't paid you enough. So you got to come in here. But it's okay because we accept everybody, whether you want to be my friend and you don't want to be my friend. I'm not here for being friendships and this and that. See, people have to understand in the day and age when you have a job, that's all you have to maintain, and that's what we learned in the army. It didn't matter. We had a bunch of people that came from different backgrounds, different cultures, different things, different beliefs, and we all had a job. As long as we all got that job done, we got to go home at night, do whatever the hell we did, and then come back and do our jobs. And that should be what the life is and the world should be, but unfortunately, it is not. And whether we want to choose to pick this or pick that or say this or say that, it has no prevalence of what's the bigger picture. And we always are missing the bigger picture. But I'm not here to fucking advocate or vocate or tell you how to live life or this is how life goes, or and it's something you have to experience for yourself. If it make sure I can only hear it and tell you what I really know about life, and it is sports, obviously. I mean, I love sports. I love marijuana. I love beautiful women in this world. I love beautiful people. I love things that are amazing. What I don't like is very stupid, ignorant, and dumb-minded people, and people that want to be, whatever, want to fucking just. That's just me. But we have all types of people. So, now let's get into the sports as we shall do here. Let's talk about, obviously the game here. We got the postseason game coming up first here. The Mariners and the Astros. Obviously, the Astros are the favorites here on the run line. Mariners are plus 126 on the money line. And we have an over-under of 6.5. Obviously, this game went over that. So, does it stay under today? We will see here shortly. We'll see here shortly. I mean, I've been somebody that's been buying on the Mariners, but we didn't. We saw the Mariners come out fighting strong, but then it was the Astros that basically finished it off here. So what are we having today here? What does today hold for Luis Castillo as far as pitching? Do they continue to get guys out, or does it end up being like the second half of the game where Mariners gave up some runs and some hits? I mean, you have to understand sometimes it's a tale of two halves. In all type of sports, you have a first half and then you have a second half. And some teams are just, they kind of get slow out of the gate for whatever it is. They just kind of start out slow, kind of sluggish or whatever. And then, as the game goes on or progresses, they get better. But there's some teams that they start off really hot, but then, they tend to kind of fizzle out and, don't really, close the deal or finish the games like they should. And the reasons why teams come back and end up, getting dubs and they get L's. But yeah, I mean, I like to say that Frambo Valdez has been a really solid pitcher throughout the season here, so we'll see. He has pitched well in the playoffs. Luis Castillo, I think this is probably his first playoffs in quite some time. So does the nerves get the best of these guys, or what's going to happen here? Now, if you're asking me to take a side or a lean, I mean, I'm not I'm not really betting this game today here. I mean, I don't know. For me, I just kind of stayed away a little bit here from from this game here. I mean, to me, I want to take the Mariners. I really do. I really do because I'm an underdog and I'm an under guy. The under 6.5. You know, I think I ended up taking that last time. I took the Mariners and the Astros that I bet it. I took the under 6.5, and that kind of that left a bad taste in my mouth. Very bad taste in my mouth. So, and you know, I mean, Astros are you know, a solid team. I mean, taking the minus 156. I mean, you you don't like it a lot, but you don't hate it. I mean, it's not a terrible. It's not like a minus 200 or minus 300. I mean, it's like the Yankees tomorrow. They're getting a minus 138 here, and the Yankees and Guardians will be playing early tomorrow. They'll be playing 1 o'clock Eastern, 10:07 West Coast time. So we only have one game on the mound here, and like I said, I would love to take the Mariners, but something's just telling me to take the Astros here. I mean, I don't know if you know, I don't know if I feel like the Astros win on the money line here or the run line, I should say. I mean, they'd have to actually win by 2, and they only won by 1 last game. But you know, certain games are different here. I mean, we saw that last night here. The Phillies won 7-6 game 1. Well, last night Phillies, it was a long rain delay in Atlanta, and Atlanta came out and blanked the Phillies 3-0. And then vice versa, the Dodgers won 5-3 game 1, and game 2 Padres came back and won 5-3 with Yu Darvish. So do the Mariners come back today and just, you know, after losing, or do the, you know, the Astros, you know, take game 2 and go up 2 games going into Seattle here. Now, Seattle you know, if Seattle wants to be in the series, they definitely would have to try to take this game today, this afternoon here in Houston. Because I mean, I don't know, being down 2-0 here. I mean, it's a different beast when you're playing the regular season and you lose you know, you lose the first 2 home games, and but when you're in the playoffs, it's a different thing because you know the games mean more. So you know, every game means something. So you want to try to win every game or be in every game to have a chance to win, and not you don't want to get blown out. But it happens. It happens. I mean, I don't know. Does it happen today with the Astros doing that to the Mariners, or Mariners doing that to the Astros? I don't think so. I think we're in for another good baseball game. I mean, maybe the Astros, you know, if the Mariners can't get the bats going, you know, maybe the Astros do win by a couple runs or so. But my lean would be on the Astros money line here. I'd definitely take the Astros money line at home. I mean, even though I do like the Mariners and I'm rooting for them solely, but if I have to, you know, put my money where my proverbial mouth is, I definitely would put it with the Astros at home here. So, and then we got some college football games here. We have the Baylor Bears taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers. This game is -3, the Baylor Bears. I mean, they came in the season ranked and with some high hopes. So they come in on the road as 3-point favorites against West Virginia. West Virginia this season has not been so kind to West Virginia football, and they've lost to the likes of Kansas, but Kansas has played pretty well this season. They only lost to undefeated TCU this weekend at home, and lost their quarterback. And still had a chance to win that game. And they lost some heartbreaking games, and it's just, can you trust the Mountaineers at home tonight against Baylor here? I mean, I like the 3. I like the 3 definitely on the spread. 3 is not a bad number here. It's not a bad number to take here. Whether it's the favorite teams or the team to cover the 3 here. We got over under 55 points though. It's kind of understandable because Baylor probably puts up at least 30 plus, almost 40 points. And West Virginia, they probably put up at least 20 here, but they're they try to, I think they try to value themselves more on like a defense, kind of be defensively, but try to control the game and try to win. Try to put up points if they could put up points. But I mean, there's been past years where West Virginia's, you got to be careful. They'll put up points on you in a heartbeat. Tonight, I mean, I don't know if it's anything indicative of what happened last night, where Marshall lost at home. I mean, it was pretty, and the game definitely went under. So I don't know if I'm leaning here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Baylor here. I'm gonna take Baylor -3. Not scared. I'm not scared to ride the 3 with the Baylor Bears. That's kind of my lean. All right, then we have the Temple Owls taking on the Central Florida Knights here. So the Knights are 23.5-point favorites on the spread. Obviously, Temple is plus 1,100. Big time underdog here. And the aspects of betting. And we have an over under of 46. So the Temple Owls, I mean, they're an interesting team. They got Kurt Warner's son, obviously. You have to check to see if he's actually still the starter there. Starting there. I don't know if the other, the quarterback he was filling in for is back from injury or not. But Central Florida, they've been kind of an interesting team. I mean, obviously, their hearts and minds have been on, the Hurricane Ian that has gone through there and pretty much decimated parts of Florida and the coastline of South Carolina and stuff like that. Still hurricanes going on. Battering this Hurricane Carl that's in the Gulf of Mexico right now, and they call it hurricane season for a reason. And Mexico has been getting hit, on both sides of it. And it's not fun. Natural disasters. They're things that we can't control. I mean, in some aspects. I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole whatever, but I mean, you just got to try to hopefully prepare and hopefully after they do come through that people will come together and help rebuild the place that you call home. It's but yeah, I mean, so Central Florida Knights, they'll definitely be ready to play football tonight here. And did they win? Did they beat Temple by 23.5? I mean, it's quite possible. I mean, it's quite possible. But last night there was an over under 46, and I took the over, and it did not cash here. I would love to, for me, I'd love to take the over in this game here. I mean, it kind of, to me, it kind of begs to take the over a little bit here. But in a way, I kind of want to get on this I want to get on this Temple Owls, especially if Kurt Warner's son's playing. I mean, I don't know, how great he is or not, but when teams are, you know, 3 touchdown, underdogs, either they're a really bad football team, or the other team they're playing just is that good that they'll beat them by that much, just because the other team that's coming in is just not as on the level as that football team. So I'm gonna I'm gonna be the crazy man tonight. I'm gonna go plus 23.5 here. I'm gonna go with the Temple here. I'm gonna say the Temple covers that. I mean, and that's the lean I'm gonna go here. Obviously, maybe a good lean, maybe a bad lean. I don't know. All right, then we have the last but not least, we have the Morgan State Bears versus North Carolina Central Eagles here. The Eagles, they were undefeated, but then they ended up losing, and so now they're at home taking on a Morgan State Bears team. They're favored to win by 14.5, so they got to win by 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, basically. And the over-under is 53.5. Interesting matchup here. Like I said, I bet on North Carolina Central, and they let me down, man. They let me down. But I'm not quite sure that Morgan State is the team that's gonna, do it. I mean, like I said, I'm not one that's gonna bet the money line on North Carolina Central. It's either doing the over under, or you're taking that 14.5. I mean, I think like Temple here, there's a little more breathing room, but they obviously think, based on the competition, obviously Morgan State and North Carolina Central are FCS schools, which there's, you got your top schools with the top 25, and then you have the FBS schools, and then you have your FCS schools, which are, your Ivy League schools. You have your Morgan State teams. You got these, you know, Sacramento States. You got all these other, teams. So I'm gonna say here. I mean, I know they spurred me before. But I'm gonna take North Carolina Central to cover that 14.5. I mean, the over under 53. I mean, I'm pretty sure it could probably happen here, but my lean is definitely North Carolina Central here. I think they could definitely cover the 15 at home here tonight. So I'm not saying that Morgan State, isn't going to put up a decent of a fight here. They probably should and will, but I don't know. Well, it'll be remain to see what goes on in that game here tonight. And obviously, we got the big kahuna. We have the NFL Thursday night game here between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. Right now, this game is a pick 'em, okay, on the spread. And you kind of, I'll explain it to people in layman's terms. What layman's terms, when it says pick 'em, it means you pick that team. So no matter the score, as long as that team wins, you're gonna cash money tonight. So And on the money line, it's minus 110, so it's basically the same as picking the spread. And you have the over under of 38 here, which the betting odds are minus 110. So no matter where you bet it across the board tonight, you're getting the same number, which is which is good. Obviously for some people they're thinking this is a terrible game. Obviously 38's a really low number, and both teams are obviously Justin Fields and the Bears. They're 2-3. They were 2-2. They were at 500, but the Commanders have been less than stellar. They had a chance to win at home against Tennessee on a last-minute drive, but Carson Wentz. So I mean, obviously, and then Ron Rivera makes the comment about Carson Wentz and then has to apologize and take it back. So how does Carson Wentz play tonight? Does he play with a chip on his shoulder and kind of pissed off? They're going to be without Jahan Dotson, the young rookie that they had drafted, and he was heavily targeted. So tonight you'll probably see a lot of this Jermani Brown, who was heavily targeted last game. So we'll see how he's going to be. Let's see if the Bears have a game plan to try to stop him. Obviously, scary Terry McLaurin, and obviously you have Curtis Samuel there as well here. Obviously, no Logan Thomas at tight end. He's out again for the second straight week. Running backs, you got Antonio Gibson. You obviously got, Brian Robinson Jr. here, who I like a lot. So, and the Commanders' defense, it's not terrible, but man, if they have to be out there for a long period of time, it's not gonna be well for them here. You know. So, and I think Ron Rivera is definitely on the hot seat here. Definitely a must, a must win for him. And the Bears here, the Bears, I look at this as a chance to go 500 and prove that, hey, they're not as bad as people make them out to be. And Justin Fields, he has not been the greatest quarterback thus far this season. Probably has the worst quarterback rating of any of the quarterbacks. But I think he has a lot of upside. He can run the ball, and he showed some promise in the pocket against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not saying our defense is the most greatest best defense, but we're not no slouch either. So you know then David Montgomery came back last week, so obviously David Montgomery, so that takes away from Khalil Herbert. You obviously got Darnell Mooney. Hey, Cole Kmet, man. That's my dude, man. My tight end, sleeper fantasy tight end right there. Cole Kmet, man. He started getting involved a little bit more. Justin Fields is starting to find him a little more, so definitely like him. And what is that offensive line going to be able to hold up against pass rush here? Obviously, Chase Young was no show. I mean, does Chase Young play tonight here? Because if Chase Young doesn't play tonight, I wholeheartedly love the Bears here. And like I said, we're gonna go through this and we're gonna look through the injury reports and this and that, and kind of like put our head together what parlay we're gonna put together today. And then obviously we're just breaking the games down right now. And the Chicago Bears defense here, man, it's not terrible. I mean, they've held some teams, they've been in some games, but obviously they couldn't finish some games. So obviously we'll see here tonight at Soldier Field in the cold night of Chicago. Who will come out victorious? Carson Wentz and the Commanders, or the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields and company? But like I said, right now I would definitely highly lean towards picking the Bears, just straight up on the spread. Pick them or money line, and I don't hate the 38. I think it can go over 38 here if both quarterbacks, if they get in a groove and they're trying to prove something here, which we could have, some points. I mean, maybe a game that people thought was going to be a bummy, stupid game. Maybe it becomes kind of a shootout. But we will see if it becomes an epic shootout, or just one of those defensive games, or it's a field goal game like we saw last. And I hope not, because 2 Thursday nights in a row, we with no touchdowns, that would be really terrible, to say the least. All right. And then we have, obviously, we got preseason basketball here. We have the Grizzlies taking on the Pistons. Grizzlies are favorite by 6 on the road here. Obviously, tonight might be the last game. So, um, 6 isn't bad. I think, I think the Grizzlies, obviously the Thunder came in there and beat the Pistons. But it depends, if Ja Morant and all those guys are playing, and it depends on how long they're going to play here. Um, Pistons are going to be a team that most people, are not going to probably bet on. I'm going to bet on them in spots where I know I can get them because I believe, you know, Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, and I think Sadiq Bey and some of those other guys they have. I think they can form something. Isaiah Stewart. Obviously they got call it the Stein, the Willie Cully Stein. So I mean, we over under 211 and a half. I mean, if I'm gonna lean anywhere, I would definitely take this. I would definitely take this over here, but I mean, I wouldn't bet it. This is the fact that the Grizzlies could just blow out the Pistons, or if certain team players aren't playing for the Grizzlies, it could be a blowout on the other side for the Pistons. All right, so the next game we have the Thunder. We have the Thunder and we have the Spurs. So obviously the Spurs are -1.5. So the Spurs gotta win by 2. Thunder's gotta win by a point and a half. Thunder's -102 on the money line. Spurs are -119. So I mean you're not getting a bad number. Over under 220 and a half. So I myself I think the Thunder. I mean, I've watched them. I watched these guys. I mean, they're a young team. I mean, some of these guys these guys can score. These guys can play basketball. These guys, are gonna play within each other. I mean, obviously they're gonna have games where they're gonna get beat. Yeah, when they're playing against the obvious teams that like the Warriors or or they play the Lakers or they play Clippers. I mean, it's just certain teams, like Memphis. They're gonna just they're gonna have a tough time against, and maybe even New Orleans, the Pelicans, but as well. Like I said, I mean, I don't know, the Jazz too, maybe a little bit, but I don't know, they're not so much. So I mean, Timberwolves definitely will be a team that they're gonna have to look after. So I mean, it's you know, and the Kings. I mean, there's gonna be teams, the Suns. I mean, it's just there's certain teams that they're gonna be having to watch after. But and the Spurs, the Spurs this is probably Popovich's one year where I mean, honestly, he has just a bunch of young guys. He's got a bunch of young guys. To me, there's really no superstar on there right now. There's guys that could be up and coming stars to become superstars that become the star on that team. But I just think that they have a lot of guys that have the talent and but they have to bring the consistency enough as a team to bring it every night to be able to have that, and then somebody's got to be the star guy. Because but sometimes it's not always a bad thing because when you have a team, then it's not going to be a selfish thing. But usually you want one guy that's hey, we got to rely on one guy to he's a big shot, big shot Bob like Robert Horry was always there's always those guys that, hey, they were going to take the last shot. We know who's going to, but, you know, it'll remain to be seen what Pop can do with this team here going into the season. And maybe, I don't know, this is Popovich's hoorah, and maybe he goes out, he rides out to the sunset next year, and they allow somebody else to come in there. I thought Becky Hammond would have been the best choice to, just took over and just because she ended up taking a pre she took a Las Vegas Spurs team. It was a couple years ago, and she ended up having them win the whole thing. I mean, I'm all for, hey, she was more than qualified to handle the job, and they want to, they want to give the, want to incorporate women more into the NBA game and this and that. They have them as referees. Well, why, you know, we got them as coaches now in the NFL, so why not? That's, in the NBA. Would it be so far fetched to not see that ever happen in the future? Probably not. And because there's some of these women that many people don't want to watch the women's talent for whatever it is. They say that they suck or whatever. That I mean, that is that is a big and sexist remark there. I mean, the women got as much skills as the men. You just you know people just want to watch guys because they can just jump around and dunk around and just do stupid silly crap. But I appreciate the women's game because they utilize the fundamentals very well and just, I mean, hey, some of these women can dunk too. Don't just it's mistaken and just write off women that they can't dunk in the game and they can't make spectacular, plays and play up to the same ability. So, and now we got hockey. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 hockey games today, so we got a full slate of hockey here. We got the Ottawa Senators and the Buffalo Sabres. We have the New Jersey Devils and the Flyers. We have the Arizona Coyotes and the Pittsburgh Penguins. We have the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders. We have the Washington Capitals and the Toronto Maple Leafs. We got the New York Rangers and the Minnesota Wild. We have the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators. We got the Colorado Avalanche and the Calgary Flame. We have the Chicago Blackhawks and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. We have the Seattle Kraken and the Kings. So those are the games here. So tonight, I don't know. We might throw a hockey game in there here, but haven't quite decided yet here. So let me just sit on down here. I just like to get out a little stretch here every day. Just try to get my back stretched out, get my get my posture right out here. So, all right. All right. So if we got to make our parlay bet right now here, let's go look and see who is playing tonight here. Let's see if we can get the injury report for tonight's game here. To see, who's going to be a go, who's not going to be a go. All right, somebody's saying that they're going to take the under. They're going to take the under for this game here. I mean, like I said, I don't hate that, but I don't know. I mean, 38. I mean that means it's going to be another boring game, and I think both these teams could put up some points. They have players capable of doing it. or if their defense so happens to get a turnover or such. Well, the match predictor predicts 53% predicts the Commanders, 46%. So, I mean, if we're looking at numbers here, if we're looking at the numbers here, comparing the quarterbacks here, obviously Carson Wentz has thrown the ball. Carson Wentz has thrown the ball. He's pass attempt 210 times so far on the season, completing 132 of those out of his 210, mind you. He has 1,390 yards passing. He has 10 touchdowns passing. He has 6 interceptions. Fields, on the other hand, has only pass attempted the ball 88 times and completing only 49 of those passes. For 679 yards, 3 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions. I mean, obviously, advantage wins, right? Then, rushing the ball wise, you have Antonio Gibson's carried the ball 56 times in the season for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Khalil Herbert is the leading guy. He also has carried the ball 56 times, but for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns. But they also have Dave Montgomery back, so Khalil Herbert's kind of took a step back now. I mean, they're going to still use the 2-back set here, as we've seen last week against Minnesota. And, I mean, much like that, I mean, there's a committee, and same thing with Washington. You're going to see a mix of, obviously they're going to put in Brian Robinson Jr. They're obviously going to have J.D. McKissick in there, unless I think McKissick got cut. I'm not sure. All right, so let's look at, and then we look at as far as receiving. Scary Terry's got 19 receptions on the season for 326 yards and a touchdown. Darnell Mooney's got 10 receptions on the season for 173 yards. So, I mean, you obviously got to think, the Commanders probably, but it's all even. I mean, it's pretty much even. Even Steven, baby. There'll be 61,000 people there at Soldier Field tonight here. All right, so we got the injury report here. We got Logan Thomas. He's confirmed out. We have Damani Brown. He is questionable, but he's expected to play. Sammy Kamazi, offensive tackle here. He's definitely out. Percy Butler, strong safety. He's out. Jonathan Williams, he's a running back. He's out. So obviously, that's why Brian Robinson and them are in there. So, all right. And now on the Bears side, Jalen Johnson, he's definitely out. Matthew Adams, linebacker, he's on the injured reserve. And Dana Cruikshank here, he's questionable as far as a cornerback. So, I mean, you're looking at, definitely it's going to, Bears are going to be wide open for the pass here. And, even though they're not going to have Jahanni Dotson here, Damani Brown can still play. Obviously, Scary Terry can still play. And obviously, Curtis Samuel can still play. And then you obviously got Antonio Gibson, who's a great pass catching as well. So, yeah, I mean, what's not to like about, taking the Commanders here tonight? I mean, the Commanders definitely got to get out of the cellar. Obviously Ron Rivera is going to be on the hot seat. So I think we got Chase. It doesn't look like Chase Young's on the injury report. So we We definitely will. But I'm not gonna waver away from taking this Bears pick. I think I'm I'm fairly confident that that the Chicago Bears are gonna win tonight here. I mean Fields has an opportunity to really prove to people. I mean, same thing with Carson Wentz. I mean, Carson Wentz is going to come out here, and he's going to be trying to prove that, hey, I'm not this bum guy. I'm not this trash quarterback that everybody's just passing around that they really don't want and they're not confident in. So, I mean, both these quarterbacks have got something to prove, and got chips on their shoulder, and yeah, the Bears defense is a little banged up in the secondary, but it's not saying that So we'll definitely see, and definitely what does the Commanders' offense can they prove that if they can get a lead here tonight, can they prove that they can finish it and finish and make sure that the Bears don't come back and snatch a W from defeat. They snatched a win out of took a victory out of the jaws of defeat. Basically. So I mean, I would still be comfortable taking the Bears, and many people want to take the under here. I wouldn't mind taking the over here, and be honest. I mean, I would not. And let's see, NHL here. NHL. Do I see a team that I think can win and pull an upset? I mean, a lot of sixes here. A lot of sixes. Seeing that's yeah. I mean, Dallas Stars and the Predators. They want you to. I mean, 5.5. That's gonna. Just take 5 and I'll get 6 goals here. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind taking that here. And like I said, like the Bears, the Bernstein Bears here. All right. I mean, all right. Gamecast here. Yeah, EJ Warren here. I mean, they got kind of smoked by. Yeah, they put up 40. Oh man, I mean they just. I mean, I definitely don't hate the 20. Yeah, he's gonna be. I mean, they got. I mean, they lost. They lost at home here. Morgan State lost at home to Norfolk State here. This is the first conference play here. I mean, they both defeated. I don't know what college this is, but they both dismantled them. And this team, they lost barely. Then they got smoked by Georgia Southern here, and then they just barely lost recently. So I don't know. Are they better than? They better than what they? I mean, they were to me like they were taking a chance on here. I mean, last time I didn't. Let's say here we go. Yeah, see if we do that here, it goes up big time here. If we take the Morgan State Bears here, which I'm not. I'm not proud of that one there, or nor do I feel comfortable doing that. I mean, it'd be like just basically betting the Temple Owls here, saying then they're gonna upset, you know, Central Florida here, which would be crazy. I mean, let me see something. I mean, yeah, they'll be over. Yeah, yeah. If I took Baylor to win by 3, I took the Chicago Bears to win on the pick'em. And if I took the over 211.5 and the Pistons Grizzlies, if I took the Thunder, and if I take the over 5.5 goals and the Predators and Stars, and if I take Morgan State Bears to win money line, and if I take Temple Owls, so that would be crazy. I mean, I don't know. Do we bet it that way? I mean, I know I won't win guaranteed win money here. Nah, we'll take Temple. We'll take Temple plus the 23 here, like that here. Morgan, we'll take a chance on Morgan State here. I'll take a sly on them here. I mean, if I take the L, I take the L here. No, I. Oh, hold on. I want to go check something else out here before I do anything else here. Well, let's see. Yeah. Okay, resumes practicing here. In regular season form Wednesday. Alright, set to miss start of regular season here. Joker. Oliver Sarr here, reloading coming weeks here. Anthony Edwards struggles from field and win here. Jordan Ford signs with Sacramento. Wes Ingadua, East Dill. Jalen Suggs returns to practice here. And Russell had 8 dimes here. Malik Baisley doesn't practice Thursday here, so okay. Karis LeVert will play Friday, okay. Steven Zimmerman signed with the Spurs. Naz Reid had another preseason double-double. Donovan Mitchell will not play Friday here. And neither will Darius Garland here. And so tomorrow we'll definitely be fading the Cavaliers here. Those guys, definitely fade the Cavaliers here. I don't know exactly who they're playing. Let's see who the Cavaliers playing tomorrow. Yeah, let's look at that here. Let's go look ahead. We're gonna look ahead as far as that is concerned. Well, it's probably like the NFL preseason. Some people just aren't gonna play the last game. You probably won't see a lot of stars. You'll probably see a lot of just the Cavs are playing the Magic. So definitely the Magic are gonna be. I mean, obviously Cavs are gonna be fucking underdogs as a motherfucker. But I would definitely stay away from that if you're gonna be betting. Stay away from. And then Utah. Who's Utah playing tomorrow? The Jazz. They're playing the Mavericks, but the Kings are undefeated playing the Lakers tomorrow, and so the Timberwolves. Interesting. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Whew. Bless me. What now? All right. All right. Sorry, I had to go a little bit overhead. And he's clear to play. A lot of guys. He's questionable. Expected to play Friday. Bradley Beal with the Wizards. Okay. Chris Jones. Max Strauss. Yep. At 5-3 to tie here, right? All right, so I guess I'm comfortable in rolling that. So we'll do that here. All right, so we're gonna. Oh shit! Hold on. All right. All right. Here we're gonna log in the parlay here. We're gonna do some player props here, but mostly just try to give out what I think as far as my games. I mean, player props here. I mean, I could obviously do that as well here on here to kind of give people an idea where I want to go with player props tonight. But Starts next month here. England, Iran, Senegal, Netherlands. U.S. and Wales. That's gonna be a good game there. That's gonna be a great game. That's gonna be. All right. All right. Got our bet. This is the bet here. We're making tonight here. This is. All right. We have. Kansas parlay for 10-13 here. I'm taking the Baylor Bears. Minus the 3 on the spread here. That's minus 115. Then I'm taking the Temple Owls plus 23.5 on the spread. I'm taking the Morgan State Bears money line here plus 450. We're taking the Chicago Bears here. Put the Bears together here. We got the Bears C Bears. We got the Bears C Bears parlay. Chicago Bears money line here. I mean, money line doesn't really matter. It's 110 either way here. I mean, I got the Bears. I got the Bears in a pick 'em here. And it's minus 110 here. And I have the over. I'm taking the over 38 points here. Doubling down in that game here in the Commanders and Bears. That's minus 110. Then I got basketball. We got over 211.5 points between the Grizzlies here and the Pistons here. All right, then we're taking the Oklahoma City Thunder here. Money line. That's minus 104 here. Should have took it earlier, but it's all right. Still like it. Found out there's nobody hurt for the Thunder, so I thought there was just a weird number, weird lines. And then we're taking the over 5.5 goals in the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators. That's minus 119 here. What's up, gangsta? Huh? You hear the parlay or what? Well, let me make a fucking prop bet on my book. Huh. That's weird. Well, let me place a better, put the money, the thing. So I don't know. I guess I'll wait till later. I guess I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe wait till later. My different computer too, to see if it was just my computer, and if not. So. All right, so. This is the parlay that we are going with tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We took the Baylor Bears minus the 3 on the spread. We took Temple Owls plus the 23.5 on the point spread. We took the Morgan State Bears money line. We took the Chicago Bears on the pick'em, and we took the over 38 points between the Commanders and the Bears. We took the over 211.5 between the Grizzlies and the Pistons. We took the Oklahoma City Thunder money line, and we took the over 5.5 goals between the Stars and the Predator. If all 8 of those legs of the parlay cash, our dollar will turn into $492.07 here. We should just call this the Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, all right? Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, because we picked the Baylor Bears. We picked the Baylor Bears, we picked the Morgan State Bears, and we picked the Chicago Bears. So we're all we're going all bared out today here. It's all bears, no bulls out here, okay? All bear market, no bull market out here. All right, so that'll do it for the show here today here. Gave out my player parlay here. Obviously, before we go here, let's give you an update on this baseball game here, the single game that's underway right now here between the Mariners and the Astros here. And we have nothing baseball so far in the bottom of the second here. We got Alex Bregman is up the dish here. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Nobody out in the bottom of the second here. So far, so we'll see here. But we'll see who wins out of the Mariners and Astros. But other than that here, we're gonna get out of here so we can get some player parlays, get ready for some action here. And I think I might maybe have to be doing another sports cast, so definitely want to get involved and figure out if we're doing that today or not. So, but nonetheless, hopefully we win today. You know, it will be back tomorrow again for another sports day and talk about these sports that need to be talked about like usual. But until then, hope everybody has a wonderful, grateful, blissful day. And even if you don't, hopefully they'll find some sort of silver lining out of it. And that's not be bitter. That's be better. And that's be better people and better attitudes. It doesn't mean you have to keep fucking around people and just and no. Be a better person. Be the better person. And I'm out.